Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning, khush amdeed, goeiemorgen, pakhair ragle.
Ni hao, Juleshime, Washwale, Ohio, Gozaimas, Guten Morgen, Hola, Bonjour, Privyet, Kaifahal, Halishama Chatore, Ahlan Wasalan, Marhaba, Buna, Mucho, Gracias, and a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and watching World this morning on a Monday, fabulous morning it is. It's getting a little hotter, ladies and gentlemen, but with me, I have the very pretty, the very amazing, somebody from 1970s or 80s. I think that's how the wardrobe looks as well. She's none other than Shizza Hashmi, and this is Shahzad Khan. Hello, Shizza. How are you?
I'm absolutely great. What about you?
Well, I am feeling absolutely perfect today.
Are you? Okay, that's
What do you
great,
mean
that's
by
great.
that? I mean, do you need reassurance?
Yeah,
as
I
well?
do.
Okay.
On a Monday morning, I feel like everyone does need reassurance because mostly I always keep saying, Monday happens to be a sad day because you're coming out of a weekend and whatnot. But I really like that your spirits are already lifted.
Thank you very much. I think for somebody who actually works 7 days a week, there's no Monday, there's no Sunday for them too as well. So I think probably I'm keeping my pace up, and I want everybody to keep their pace up in whatever you want to achieve. There'll be difficulties, there'll be hurdles, but if you want it with your true heart, just go get it.
You're going to get it, absolutely true. Shahzad, should I tell you something?
Sure.
In the university that I study,
Nust.
yes.
Yeah, thank you.
So we are not allowed to use plastic shopping bags or any sort of plastics over there. I mean, of course, there are plastic water bottles, but it is written even on the refrigerators that avoid using these. Because, of course, you're contributing to plastic pollution, right? And we don't want that for our planet and for the entire universe as well. So I feel like since, you are my colleague, I want you to be responsible as well. I'm pretty sure you already are. But can you make me a promise that from now on, if not completely, stop using it, at least you can avoid using plastic products?
Yeah, I think that I can definitely promise that, but I want to promise with full heart as well. But Shizza, we know that, that we are actually not moving into the direction where, the government is actually taking the right initiatives to stop plastic pollution, I think.
Absolutely.
And, from a longer period of time when I used to go to with Bazaar with my mother, I think she stopped using those plastic bags as well, and she made, the bags at home with cloth and whatnot. But other than that, on regular basis, obviously, what I do, because I keep myself hydrated, so what I do is wherever I stop, I'll just buy a bottle of water. And, whenever I buy a bottle of water, it's always in plastic as well. And then there's this alternative technology, which is, ladies and gentlemen, quite in these days. They're making these bottles with something which is not plastic and it's biodegradable as well.
Yes,
so I think it's going to be very expensive, but I'm going to pledge other people as well to stop using these plastic things as well. But out of all of these things, why are we even talking about plastic today?
I'll tell you why. Because, well, I feel like first of all, we need to watch a small report that our correspondents have prepared for you guys. That will definitely give away about what we are talking about. When we come back, we will definitely reveal it to you ourselves. So
let's do it. Good morning.
Let's take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we definitely get together to celebrate and observe the Earth Day as well, which I think, I believe that in today's time it is very important to raise awareness about all of these issues, which we actually tried highlighting in this report as well.
Right.
What a wonderful report by one of our correspondents as well. But on to the further detail, I think Shizza will do the honors.
Absolutely, and I absolutely love the visuals and the amount of information that went away in the report. But ladies and gentlemen, as Shahzad rightly mentioned, we are definitely observing and celebrating Earth Day. This has been happening since 1970, and it's almost 50 years now that more than 190 countries are observing this day. And of course, we need to, because we are sharing this place called Earth. And when we talk about Earth, Shahzad, it's not only for humans, right? I mean, there are so many other species. There's so many plants and animal species that coexist with us. Earth is all about balance and coexistence, I feel like. But unfortunately, humans are basically, contributing to extinction of so many other species on Earth that it's almost sad. And at this time, this decades usually that we are going through right now, we are contributing to the greatest extinction of the world since dinosaurs, should I tell you? And that was 60 million years ago. So why are we doing that? How are we doing that? And it's all because of human activities. We are definitely going to discuss that.
And imagine, ladies and gentlemen, as a layman, because we obviously have to prepare before we come on screen in front of you guys as well. As a layman, I never knew the facts which actually Shizza has mentioned. Yeah. So I think that it is very vital, it is very pivotal at this point of time that we realize and we educate our future generations about what's happening to our world.
Right.
Now, and this year's theme is, ladies and gentlemen, is all about these species which coexist with us. And let me tell you that this ecological system which has been given to us by Allah Almighty, each and every individual, first of all, out of humans, and then, all the other species, animals, mammals, everybody, probably the aquaculture family as well, the breeds of different, probably fish, which actually are in the sea as well. Everybody's got a role to play. Imagine that if I say that, if today the bees are going to die, all the entire human race is going to die tomorrow. Yeah. So it might not, look very realistic, but that's how things are. And
but should I just add on a fact, since you're talking about, how things are definitely going to go extinct. Usually, due to, according to the previous stats that we have, 1 to 5 species would go extinct annually. Oh. But right now, it is almost 1,000 the pace of that. And multiple species are going extinct on a daily basis, scientists say.
Exactly. And adding on to that, only Pakistan is actually contributing. Well, it's not really a great word to use right now, contributing. It's a wrong situation, or connotation as well, because 45 species are going to be extinct from within Pakistan as well. It is high time that we raise awareness. And to do the honors, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by some very apt guests as well. On my right-hand side, we have been joined by climate change expert, because climate change and, all of these things have an impact on these species too as well. There are species which can live in a weather which is tropical. There are species who can actually live in a weather where it is very cold, it's hilly and things like that. So to talk about climate, ladies and gentlemen, we've been joined by Mr. Asif Shuja. Hello, assalamu alaikum, how are you?
How are you, sir?
Walaikum Assalam. So thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have you. Fabulous as always. And alongside Mr. Asif Shuja, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by somebody who's an environmentalist. She's none other than Ms. Sana Tahir. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Hi, walaikum assalam. How are you?
Absolutely perfect. Thank you very much for joining us. And you are probably the second lady whom I've seen with dimples. Very nice, Okay. And alongside Ms. Sana, ladies and gentlemen, we finally have somebody over here in Pakistan who talks about space education. He's a space education promoter. He's none other than Mr. Ahmed Kamal Janjua, and he's hopeful that he's actually going to get a $1 billion donation for his space program. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum.
How are you?
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's wonderful to have you. But first things first, I would like you guys to, let other people know. We go out in 46 different countries. How do we feel about this day? What is the importance of this day? And why do you think that we really need to emphasize and aware people about Earth Day as well?
Today is a very special day.
Yeah.
Because in 1969, there was a spill in California, oil spill.
Yeah.
As a result of which Senator Gaylord, he started a movement of the first time, it was the terminology environment was used.
Yeah.
Okay.
But nobody listened to him. Then he was very much disappointed, and then he talked with the students.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you will be surprised that every student, they wrote letter to their parliamentarians, and ultimately 1970 was the first Earth Day that was celebrated. And each year you get a new theme.
Right.
This year's theme is very, very important, and that is the prevention of our species.
Yeah, of course, protect our species.
When we call species, man is also species, human being is also species. We all have the right to live in this world, whether it is animal, plants, human being. So this world is not only ours.
But we have reached to a number of 7 billion. You know, there are other species who have actually reached to a number of 2 or 3. So I think we should probably be focusing on them.
Yeah, this is the very important thing which you have said. Because in the race of development, we are making all these spaces for our housing.
Right, absolutely.
And habitat for animals, birds, they are now eliminating.
And if you, I mean, it's not that, you know, I need a correction over here, but in the race of development, I think we are producing too much as humans. May them be children, may them be plastic, may them be all of those things which are actually polluting our environment.
Right.
Do you agree to that?
Yes, I fully agree. The only thing is that we want quality of life for ourselves.
Yes.
So it's a selfishness, I think.
Exactly.
Which, if we are living in this world, it is our responsibility to protect other creature also.
Very nice.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
What about you, Ms. Sana? How do you feel about this day? And, you know, why is it important for us, especially individuals, to observe this day?
Actually, first, like, we have to literate children about what is actually Earth, then why we are celebrating.
Yeah.
Like, basically, like, we have to protect species. Like, humans are not going to extend exactly, but what we are doing with different animals. Like, if I'm talking about from the perspective of Pakistan, a snow leopard, Indus dolphin, turtles, different species of turtles, and what we are doing with markhor. So a lot of steps have to be taken. So first we have to create awareness.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So I think this is what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. We've actually taken out a video of all of those species which are going to be extinct from within Pakistan and the world as well. We want you to take a look. Go ahead and we'll definitely proceed further with the conversation. Let's do it. Good morning. So, ladies and gentlemen, so 4 billion years ago, in a form of organic molecules, ladies and gentlemen, life appeared on this planet, and 3.5 million years later, you know, so there were later species as well, but a total of 8.7 million species over here on this planet, which are decreasing day by day because of the wastage, because of the industrialization, a lot of different things as well. I think it's about high time that we pay attention to all of these issues. I mean, imagine only 80 slots are left. You know, everybody's got a role to play as well.
Right.
You want to add on to something?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just looking at the species that are definitely going to go extinct. You know, bees in coral reefs, elephants in whales of all sorts. And, you know, just a while ago, Miss Sana was also speaking about Indus dolphins. And, you know, they're usually called blind dolphins. They're in Sindh. So my dad was posted in Sakhar. We were sort of living on an island. It was such a dirty island. Anyway, so we usually did witness, you know, Indus dolphins every other day with sunsets and everything. Such cute creatures, you know, brown in color. And I mean, they're good to look at when they do just pop out of nowhere in front of you. So I really hope we don't go towards that. But moving on to Mr. Ahmed.
Everything which pops out just like this, and you have no idea, I think it can be horrible too as well.
It can be scary, that's
so be careful,
true.
yeah.
But Mr. Ahmed, you know, we sort of identified that we need to start awareness with children because when they grow up, they are definitely the future of the planet. And you did a similar thing. This was yesterday probably, right?
Absolutely.
How did it go and tell us about that?
Actually, thank you so much for inviting me.
No problem.
I'm Chief Executive of Cosmic Space Systems. It's a
Right.
private space company.
Okay.
And we're working in support with Institute of Space Technology. And as you know, space and Earth go together.
Yeah.
Since Earth is in space, we are floating in the Milky Way, and the Milky Way is floating in something else. And the whole universe is revolving. I mean, everything is going in a circle. Today, the significance of Earth Day is to save our planet. Initially, it started with the environment because everything is, it's an ecosystem. Everything is in the same environment, like, you know, from aquatic, marine, and oceans and seas and all that. Then land is, like, as you see, we are sitting right here, but it's actually 6,000, almost 6,000 kilometers below.
Right.
Down to the center of the Earth.
Yeah.
So there is mantle, crust, and, you know,
Core as well, yeah.
core as well. So there is a whole thing going on. And then on the top, if you look at on the top, there are so many spheres which are going up,
Right.
like stratosphere, and, you know, we are in the troposphere, and then ionosphere. And so there are so many things which are affecting Earth, from inside also and from outside also.
Yeah.
If you look at the sun, I mean, ultraviolet rays are coming in.
The ozone layer is depleting.
Ozone layer is depleting because of the carbon footprints,
Chlorofluorocarbons,
CFCs. And if you see down below, there are so many problems, like, for example, there is a deforestation. Forests are, Pakistan government is doing a really good job. I mean, you know, they are planting trees all over the place. And then there is, in the energy sector, I've worked in the energy sector for a long time. And in energy sector, if you see, like, all the power plants, they are fuel-based and thermal and all that. They have so much pollution.
Absolutely.
But NEPRA is doing a really good job.
Okay.
Recently, last year, NEPRA has approved wastage, like a power plant, which is run on waste. Because there are tons, millions of tons of waste every day.
That's such a good way to proceed, right? Because we are definitely going to be producing waste. But moving on, you know, let's talk about insects. So absolutely, I am one of the people who is phobic to insects. I know they're just pathetic to look at, but they are a part of our ecosystem, and they definitely, you know, they are a part of the balance as well. And in Germany, the insect population has decreased by 75%. And that is, of course, spreading throughout the world. How important are insects for our ecosystem? And although, I mean, I feel very good not to have insects around me, but how sad is it that
you're not supposed to have them around you. I mean, they can be at a place where they want to be, I think.
That's right. But how important is it to actually have them in our ecosystem? Any one of you can go about it. Let's start with you, sir.
You know, God has created these things for some purpose.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And some are, it's a complete ecosystem where one species do something for the other species.
Right.
And they make food, they create some fertilizers. There are certain bacteria in the soil which are continuously making fertilizers. So every insects have its own benefits, as well as, of course, some implications also.
Indeed.
But we have to protect them,
Right.
by all means. But a lot of fertilizers, pesticides we are using, we need to optimize use of pesticides. Of course, it is required, but ultimately we have to have certain level.
And we will definitely talk about it. But now, sir, I've got a very different question to ask. I'm very sorry that I'm doing this, but I'll have to. I have to do justice with my job as well. Now, I've lived for 3 decades, alhamdulillah, in this world as well, you know, on this planet.
This is the first time he's actually
this is the
accepted his
first
age.
time that we are actually, you know, talking about this day and how important it is. Over here in Pakistan, I have never ever seen any private channel do that. And all of you, probably not you, ma'am, but I think that you're a decade or 2 decades older than me. So, you know, with due generation gap, you guys never came across such a problem when it was 1980s, when it was 1990s, when it was 2000, that we actually have to talk about in 2019? I mean, anybody can answer that, only you're not the one to be under the spot.
I will differ.
Yeah.
I'm the person who started environment in Pakistan
Okay.
in 1993.
We know that, yes.
Okay. Now, since then, I'm coming on every day, such as the World Environment Day,
Yeah.
Earth Day, or whatever it is, Climate Change Day. So these are all coming.
Yeah.
Right.
We are trying to create awareness. Unfortunately, the resources for awareness
Yes.
are very, very limited. And I think I should must say the TVs and the media, electronic media, or it is the paper media,
They're not interested.
they are not giving
Enough
free food.
attention.
Very
free
nice.
food.
I think I think that's
So they talk of very high amount. I think they should come up with public messages.
Right.
They do, like your TV station, they are fully involved.
Yeah.
But the private channel should also come
Exactly.
in the picture, and they should create awareness among the students, people, of course,
Amazing.
old age, and
Right.
so every citizen has to play a part.
Absolutely. So you have to add something?
In reference to the awareness,
Yes.
yesterday, I mean on Sunday, at Cosmic Space Systems, we conducted a workshop for little kids
Yeah.
from kindergarten to grade 4.
Yeah. And
And-
we've got some pictures as well. You can talk about it, and while we're going to share pictures, please can we have them on the screen?
And
Thank you.
and the topic was all about space,
Okay.
but the main theme was the Earth Day.
All
Okay.
right.
So we ensured that children understand about our Earth, the environment, what is going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
How can they save? Even the children were talking about saving water.
They
And-
were talking about
yeah,
it. Wow.
yeah.
So they are responsible already.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, how to dispose of your waste and the plastic. Like plastic, we really, I mean, told them in depth. How can, I mean, you know, how can they dispose of the plastic?
Right,
and you know,
right.
they should not use the plastic.
Exactly. And for somebody who's actually, you know, targeting or probably looking forward to going to space, why is he so concerned about Earth? Is something I don't get. But ladies and gentlemen, on this lighter note, we're going to go head out for a short break. Don't go anywhere. And when you guys will come back, we'll talk about what Shizza Sahab has actually mentioned, that, you know, that there's lack of resources. Television is actually not given ample space or airtime to all of these awareness messages as well. I mean, it is obviously PTV's responsibility. We do it with full zeal and fervor as well. But other than that, I think every individual needs to join hand to actually do all of this.
But before we do out, go out to a short break, I have a small fact that we need to share. So
Sure.
primates is basically, our biological relative, human beings' relatives, and 504 species of primates exist right now. But unfortunately, 60% of them are threatened of extinction.
Okay.
So I really hope we're not looking forward towards that. But on this note, ladies and gentlemen, heading out to a short break. Good morning. Stay tuned.
I need a glass of water.
Magla Hills, the heaven of Islamabad. The abode of God, a place where you can explore your soul and meet power of natural elegance of mountains. Spread over an area of 12,605 hectares, the Magla Range, the foothills of Himalayas, are youngest hills with an age of 5,000 years old. Magla Hills are home to around 600 plant species, 250 bird varieties, 38 mammals, and 13 species of reptiles. Margla Range is characterized by many valleys, scenic spots, and beautiful water streams, especially in the monsoon months. Famous for their tranquil environment and lush green natural splendor, Margla Hills are a particular source of pride, harmony, and spiritual solace. For the residents of Islamabad, many of whom make it a weekly ritual to scale the various trails to Damaneko and Pir Suhawa. Magla Hills send off its visitors with lasting trail of memories to relish in solitude and provide an escape from the relentless rhythm of life. Magla Hills, the heaven of Islamabad, the abode of God, a place where you can explore your soul and meet power of natural elegance of mountains.
Welcome back to World This Morning with Shahzad Khan and Shizza Hashmi on a Monday morning where we are observing Earth Day. And ladies and gentlemen, I know this happens to be very sad, but we are giving out facts about all the species that are going extinct because the theme for this year's Earth Day is Protect Our Species.
Yes.
Well, you know, Shahzad, I happen to watch a lot of documentaries. I indulge in watching them, you know, BBC and Nat Geo and whatnot. So, you know, the visuals are so amazing. You're probably going through grasslands and waters and whatnot, and then come out the facts that so many species over there are going extinct. And let me tell you, 40% of bird species are threatened to be extinct as well.
Oh, well, that's very sad, ladies and gentlemen. I think we are pretty much highlighted and we are pretty much, you know, probably put like a base, which is, you know, actually going to let us be aware of all of these things. But now I want to move on towards the solution, where Shizza said that, you know, there are lack of resources.
Right.
And this is one thing which is very common in Pakistan. Whatever issue we talk about, lack of resources, death of people, you know, all of these things, they stay over here. But, you know, eventually when you decide within your own self that you are going to change something, all you have to do is be destined, I think, and that public-private partnership is very important. This is first thing. We might not go into a very detailed discussion about this, but what can an individual do? I think this is something which I want to start with. So Shizza Saab, you as an individual, what have you done to save the climate, to save the environment, and to save Earth?
The very first thing is littering. I always give number one, that whenever we move anywhere, we throw things. This habit needs to be stopped immediately. And at the government side, I think now it's time to put some penalty, some fine on it.
Right, right, I agree.
As the other countries have done. And because we don't have much resources to collect waste from each and every place twice a day, we need to look at the first place. The other thing is you talk of plastics. Now the type of plastics are changing. Eatable plastics are coming up, food grade. So they just put water in it and then they swallow it. It is also available. So and the biodegradable, you already talked about it, that we started biodegradable. Many shops, the bigger stores, now they have biodegradable plastic bags. In almost, I think every province now they have adopted.
Right.
The important thing is that the corporate sector should come up and help individuals and in the schools at their level to create awareness.
Absolutely.
This is a must, and we should realize our responsibility.
And I think it is very
Right,
important
I absolutely
as well.
do agree with that. But moving on to Ms. Sana over here. Ladies and gentlemen, 650,000 marine species, not marine species, actually marine animals, are threatened by, you know, fishing that we do, the fish gear that we use. They're either dead and they're either caught unintentionally. So that we need to talk about ecotourism, because a lot of people who go out to, you know, enjoy their time on the beaches, sometimes go out for fishing, but unintentionally they are definitely damaging the marine life. So moving on to you, Ms. Sana, how can we sort of be responsible in terms of tourism, and then sort of responsible for, while living on Earth, but protecting the marine life?
Again, we should know what is ecotourism.
Yeah.
This term is again the new term for everybody.
Yeah, but the incumbent government is definitely stressing upon that.
Especially in KP, we should go for that. Like how we should remain friendly with the environment and doing our own work, our anthropogenic activities, but we are not going to disturb the ecosystem, we are not going to disturb the environment, and we are not going to disturb the species all around us. So I think we should go for some legal trading, like we in Pakistan some illegal trading is there, so we should work for that also, to work for that endangered species.
Right.
So to conserve them, we should take some strategies, and we should take some measures regarding that.
Exactly,
Right,
and I think
absolutely.
that's
I do
important.
agree with that. But you know, Shahzad, what we usually do as humans, because this is sort of human nature to look pretty, to have the best things, and unfortunately to gain that, sometimes we exploit animal body parts, like, you know, big cats, their skins, and, you know, even snake skins and whatnot.
It's not
even
the men
rhinos.
doing that as well.
Men
Sorry.
and women,
Sorry
ladies
that I
and
have to
gentlemen.
say that, but you
I
know,
know
the
a
majority
lot
of
of
women
men.
are doing it.
Wait,
you know, they are the
Shahzad.
ones who wear all of these animal skins and, you know, shoes made up of that, bags made up of that, you know, furs and whatnot.
I
we
know
need to
a lot
agree,
of,
right?
yeah,
We
I
need to
do
agree.
I do agree, but I also know, I'm saying I also do know men who wear cufflinks and stuff made out of, you know, trunks
I'm
and
sorry,
things.
I've only got one pair of shoes which is made up out of snake skin. I'm sorry for that.
I don't
but I
have
never
any.
knew that, you know, I wasn't supposed to do that, and I'm not going to do it now.
But so yeah, point being, China unfortunately happens to be the biggest market for such things, and of course Pakistan is sort of, you know, related to that as well. So Mr. Ahmed, what do you think about this? How can we stop being a part of it and not, you know, explore to mutilate animal body parts?
Actually, the number one thing is being responsible. Responsible at the individual level, responsible at the government level,
Right.
responsible, I mean, you know, all the provinces, like individually what we can do, and they'll tell you what we can do, maybe some solutions for the government, what they can do.
Sure.
Individually is just look around yourself, see where you are,
Okay.
who's next to you. There must be trees and plants, take care of them. Like Sir said, do not litter.
Yeah.
You know, check your car engines, make sure there are no, I mean, smoke coming out.
Right.
Do not, I mean, you know, be part of any kind of pollution or anything. And then if you're living next to a river, like there are certain things, like there are certain endangered species currently in Pakistan. One is that that blind dolphin, which people are still hunting. Stop that. The government should, like, you know, find them or put them in jail if somebody is doing that.
Right.
And then there are two others. One is a Hodial. I belong to Jhelum.
Okay.
And near Jhelum, there are a mountainous area or villages there. And there is a species, I mean, Hodial, which is like a deer, like, you know.
Okay.
And people are still hunting it. It's like, it's becoming extinct. Then the Markhor is in Gilgit. People are still hunting that and putting pictures on the Facebook.
And you know, there's prize money for that as well. How sad is
The government should immediately, just like an economic action plan, we need an action plan on the environment.
Yeah.
Where immediately they can tell the local bodies that do this.
that? Right.
Yeah.
These are 1, 2, 3, do this, do this, do this. Number. So, I mean, people will follow. I mean, you know, they should make
and
an
I
action
think
plan.
that
And we
needs
can
to be
help
done
them.
as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Shahzad, one of the very successful interstate collaborations happens to be the European Union. And one of their very, you know, highlighted policies is focusing upon climate change. And even their political campaigns are designed around that. What do you think, sir? What can Pakistani politicians learn from them? You know, from the European Union specifically, I'm saying, because they particularly focus a lot upon climate change.
You see, the Climate Change Convention, when it was signed by developing countries and developed countries, it was agreed that the developed countries will contribute to for the cause of environment
Right.
and reducing the carbon dioxide emission,
CFCs. Yeah.
help the developing countries or underdeveloping countries but unfortunately, the
didn't
promise could not fulfill.
Right.
Now, they talk of green funds, they talk of many other things, but nothing is getting materialized.
Right, right.
We are getting late. Now, 2-degree temperature target was set in the Paris conference.
Yes.
But now the scientists are saying, since we are not taking much actions, it can go to 4 degree.
Wow.
And you know what will happen to the species?
You'll learn.
They are going to distinguish.
Yeah.
All will eliminate and
Right.
will be having no other choice. Water is the basic thing. Water stress, will be having agriculture stress, temperature stress, which I think will be very enormous in the days to come, heat waves, that is another issue. Are we prepared?
I doubt that.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, there are two things. One is the mitigation measures, where you control carbon dioxide emission
Okay.
and produce sinks. Like the government is also doing very good job setting up some 10 billion trees. The other thing is adaptation. We have to live in this environment.
Exactly.
For that purpose, we have National Disaster Management Authority and the
Right.
Provincial Disaster Management Authorities. These institutions need to be strengthened fully for any calamity which we are expecting.
Exactly.
Now you see the weather is changing. Sometime
But I think it's
you
getting
see-
better now.
You see the snow is coming and, and suddenly the temperature goes up to 45.
Exactly.
Right.
But with
So
a
these
million trees
extremities,
planted-
they are going to enhance further. And that can also cause food shortages.
Yeah.
Now, this time I think we have not seen spring.
Yeah.
It
It was a very
like-
short span.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but that's correct. And ladies and gentlemen, I think that, each and everything which we have highlighted so far is of immense importance as well. But other than that, I think there have been these plantation drives, and I think in days to come, everything's going to get better in terms
Yeah.
of, greenery and in terms of food and, in protecting these species. But I think that it's about time that we think about all of these species which are going to get extinct as well. We have been focusing on plantation quite a lot. I think we need to come up with saving these extinct
Animal species
species
as well.
drives as well.
Right.
And I think this is it for today as well. Thank you very much for being with us. It was wonderful to have you. And in your capacity, whatever you can do
And
to save the environment.
I
please
will
do it.
say only one thing.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
In the process of development, let it be a sustainable development and prepare environmental impact assessment.
Amazing, amazing.
Absolutely.
What a
Very
wonderful
rightly
thing
said.
to wrap it up with. Thank you very much, each and every one of you, for being with us. But now, ladies and gentlemen, there's one more very important thing which I needed to mention today, and that is that, there's this person who's actually always been my mentor. He's no more with us. And I think that each and every member of the Pakistan television industry and people outside within the television industry or not, it does not really matter. It's the 8th death anniversary of Mr. Muin Akhtar Saab as well. What a wonderful and amazing human being it was. I've still, till date, feel sad. I have met him once or twice, but I haven't worked with him. But I think for everybody who's worked with him is in awe of what kind of person he was. He was a gem of a person, and he's done a great deal. He was one of the first faces to appear on Pakistan television as well. I mean, for somebody who's known across the borders and all over the globe for the type of versatility he brought to screen as well. And this duo of Mr. Anwar Maqsood and Mr. Muin Akhtar was of such sort that every evening, I think, everybody used to sit down with their families and watch their programs from 50-50 to, I mean, it was a never-ending entertainment brought to us by Mr. Muin Akhtar in such a way where everybody felt great of the type of criticism he and Mr. Anwar Maqsood came up with. So, Mr. Muin Akhtar, may your soul rest in peace. We are still running and will continue to learn from you. We are inspired human beings, and we are inspired because of the fact that the type of work you did brought smiles to a lot of hearts.
Wow, Shahzad, that was so pure, everything that you said. So, ladies and gentlemen, we did definitely speak about Earth Day. And although the information that we gave out was staggering and sad as well, but the good part is we can still sort of control that extinction of the species around us by awareness and education. So, be a responsible citizen on individual level as well. Stop using plastic at all, plastic straws, plastic bags, plastic bottles, even at least avoid. Stop comes later on, but start avoiding. And if there's anything,
it's perfectly all right.
And if there's anything you need to write
right.
to us, write on our Facebook page with
Which
the
is
name
the name of World This Morning.
on Twitter.
World This Morning without a G.
Daily Motion on YouTube.
World This Morning, World This Morning.
And the repeat is going to be
5 past 11 p.m. tonight. Till the next time, 1, 2, 3. Good morning.